Well, right now we're looking at several things with regard to privacy law. Our current focus, I would say, is on two, perhaps three projects. The first one is targeted behavioral advertising and privacy. Second one probably is the smart grid and the implications for privacy, the smart utility electrical grid. And the third probably is a little bit around electronic health records and the privacy issues associated with them. Well, I think if we're talking generally about the most critical privacy law concern, it would be to have a law in the first place. I think we have many places around the world, and including several jurisdictions in Canada, that actually lack legislation, and we have, as a result, people practicing in the private sector and the public sector without a lot of guidance with respect to how they should protect privacy. So I would really like to see a push in some of these other jurisdictions like the United States to get more laws, more legislation, because what they do in the States has a great impact on what happens, in our case, north of the border. I think it's a challenge always with the respect to privacy in recent years is technology, and so there's always this question: how specific do you make the legislation, and what are you going to lose? So to try and adopt a principle-based approach, I think would be, it's a tough task, but one that has to be done. So you're not always chasing the next thing that that comes along, but you're operating on the basis of principles. The second thing is not to get too heavy into the legalese, so to speak, but to create a privacy law that would speak to individuals and to businesses, and would give them guidance. And the third, I think, privacy legislation has to have some kind of enforcement to it. I think we see a lot of privacy legislation that is too much of the guidance and not enough about the enforcement. So I think we need some enforcement, some teeth that we give the various regulators to enforce. I don't know why the public should care about privacy laws so much as the public already cares about privacy. Privacy is not really, for most people in itself, something that's valuable, but it serves something else that's valuable to them. They care about their dignity, they care about their identity, they care about their self-worth, and they use privacy as a word often to describe those other values that they're trying to protect. So I sort of don't want to have the conversation of why people should care. I think people already care. I think the responsibility is always on the other side that's eroding privacy, is to give a justification why they should do further intrusions, whether they're the government or the private sector.